Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. I want to thank you for being with us. Secret police files from inside Tot Mom's murder investigation. Did Tot Mom's defense attorney order the Anthony's private eye not to call 911 if he found the 2-year-old's body? And was that big scene just an act when Tot Mom learns Kelly's skeleton discovered?
When you make it to national media, then you come up
You
with...
get the Nancy Graces. We thought that the cars that were following us from my attorney's office were media, because there was a media van that followed us and another van that went with them, so we're thinking, here we go. It happens every day.
I know it does. I'd like to make it stop happening, to be honest with you.
I would too.
We have said today from the very beginning, if law enforcement would like to speak with myself, he would like to be present.
Who threw your name out?
The media said that it was from an inside source. People are only getting their information from the Nancy Graces or from Globe magazine or People or, stuff like that.
Casey and Lee were at the house alone together, and Casey and Lee attempted to have sex with her. My impression was that somehow he was trying to pressure her into it somehow. That was my impression from what she was saying. I didn't have anything else concrete on it, and it was so vile and disgusting to me that I didn't really want to go any further into it.
All the Padillas people have called me up and said, you better get on the move here. They are actively trying to frame your son.
Straight out to Mark Williams, reporter and anchor standing by there at the jailhouse in Florida. Mark, it's breaking faster than we can keep up with it. What's the latest?
Yeah. Well, Nancy, the latest, of course, is the staff continues to pour over those hours of video and audio released earlier this week by the state attorney's office here in Orlando. The big thing, of course, is Jesse Grund telling investigators that Casey told him at one time that Lee apparently attempted to pressure her to have sex with her. That happened back in 2005.
Wait. Why do you think that's something that happened in 2005? Why is that the big surprise? Are you telling me you actually believe Tot Mom's story that her own brother tried to force her to have sex? Well, what does that have to do with the murder of Kelly? That has nothing to do with this trial.
Well, you cannot believe a lot that Casey Anthony has said thus far. She's led detectives on a wild goose chase. She's told lies to a lot of folks, and this is one thing that investigators want to know, that in fact, if it was a lie that she told Jesse, or if it was just a kind of a figment of her imagination. The other thing, of course, Nancy, is the fact that Leonard Padilla, the bounty hunter from California, telling Jesse Grund that he better watch out because the Anthonys, Cindy and Casey in particular, circling the wagons. They talked about framing him, possibly drowning little Kaylee back in last year. And of course, you have coming up, Nancy, on your show, an exclusive live interview with Richard Grund, Jesse's father. We're all waiting for that.
And Mark Williams, in that same vein, apparently the family afraid that Tot Mom goes back to former fiance Jesse Grund's home to plant physical evidence implicating him in the murder. And we're going to go straight to Jesse's father, but hold on to Ellie Jostad, our chief editorial editor, on the story from the beginning. Ellie Jostad, tell me this report that has emerged that Tot Mom's defense attorney actually told the Anthony family private eye, if you find Kelly body, don't call 911. Please tell me I'm wrong, Ellie.
No, you're right, Nancy. One of our affiliates in Orlando and our colleague Natisha Lance has been able to confirm that a complaint has been made to the bar that Jose Baez told Dominic Casey, that PI that was working for the Anthony family, if you find Kaylee's body, don't call 911. Now, Jose Baez, of course, denies this, says he's done nothing unethical, but that is the report that's out there.
Ellie Jostad, what can you tell me about the origin of that bar complaint alleging this?
Well, allegedly, this information came out. We know that Dominic Casey gave 2 interviews to authorities. One of them's been released. The second one has not been released. The judge ordered it sealed because he determined that what he said in that interview qualifies as privileged. So that hasn't been released. And it's supposedly in that second interview that he says that Baez told him not to call authorities.
Let's unleash the lawyers. We are taking your calls live. Renee Rockwell, veteran defense attorney out of the Atlanta and Louisiana jurisdictions. Bradford Cohen, he's new to the show. Let the hazing begin. Defense attorney out of Miami. Renee, if he told the Anthony private eye, hey, if you find Kelly, don't call 911, we got a problem, Renee.
Nancy, I don't know if that rises to the level of any type of a criminal act.
Say what? Whoa. Not reporting the body of a dead child?
He said, do not call 911. What else did he say? Did he say, call me? We're going to move the body, this and that? You can't presume anything beyond that, Nancy. I would like to know what the entire conversation was.
To Mark Class, I'll be right back with you, Bradford Cohen. Mark Class, president and founder of Class Kids Foundation. I imagine, in light of the fact that somebody sneaks in your daughter's home and takes your daughter, and you having to undergo polygraph and all that, Mark Class, you're a crime victim. What do you think about a defense attorney allegedly telling a private eye, hey, if you find the body, don't call 911?
Well, it's beyond the pale. I'm beginning to get the impression that nobody on the Casey Anthony side of this situation has ever said one iota of truth. It just seems to me that everybody's lying, everybody's being underhanded. It's unbelievable.
Well, to Bradford Cohen, very quickly, is this a legitimate bar complaint?
I don't believe so, because as horrible as it sounds, if your client tells you something that is attorney-client privilege, you cannot then relay it to anybody. That investigator was working for the defense.
He wasn't relaying, he was thwarting justice, Bradford.
He wasn't thwarting justice. His responsibility is not to call the police on your own client who tells you, let's say it was a weapon, and your client says, hey, I just murdered somebody, and the weapon is on the park.
He says his client's innocent, so the discovery of the body could only help his client.
The issue becomes is whether or not he can disclose that information. He cannot. Ethically, you cannot disclose something that your client tells you. And this is all allegedly, because we don't know if that happened. Morally, is it bad? Yes.